One of my all-time favorite video series in pickleball right now was created by this cinematographer, and I got him on the podcast, and we got to talk about his content creation process, his background with cinematography, tips for content creators, what camera would you recommend, and revealing some surprising paddle knowledge that I didn't know before.
We're starting to see be the trend. Like, he was the person who found out that titanium faces are actually not really made with titanium.
This is the story of Pickleball Pursuit. Shout out to my sponsors, Viore and Peak.
Especially when my allergies are bad. God.
Yeah, like I sound like Chris Olsen.
Yeah. What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah. Yeah. We say what's up, nerds, at the beginning of our podcast. I will say, you are a good interviewer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You've definitely put a lot of thought into your questions, and like you steer the conversation well.
I just want to make sure that people get to talk about what they're doing,
Yeah.
and what they're up to.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people go on like just have regular conversations, which I'm not entirely opposed to. Like we can talk about Bitcoin hitting 100K.
Yeah.
We can talk about aliens.
You a Bitcoin boy?
I'm a Bitcoin guy.
Oh,
Are you a
shit,
Bitcoin
dude.
guy?
No, I never got in, dude.
Damn.
I used to have like, I don't know, 20 grand in Robinhood, and then like I lost like $3,000. Like, fuck this, I'm not gambling anymore. It was like, 2020, 2021, where it was just like everything was going up.
You put money into GameStop?
I tried to.
Tabitha, do you put money into GameStop?
Robinhood wouldn't let me.
Something weird.
Yeah.
I don't understand any of this.
I had all kinds of stocks.
Dude,
Nothing crazy.
the negative energy, bro. It's gone.
It's
Dude, it's been him the whole time.
Shit.
His skin's turning different colors.
Tweaking. Yeah. It was an exorcism.
Tight. Nope. I mean,
Yeah, don't even do that, bro.
you mind flipping? Dude, you have a super long arm. Can you flip that screen towards me? Just in case.
How's that?
Yeah.
Frame's good? Okay. I kind of like moved it a little bit, I feel like. Oh, baby.
Dude, this is
Are those your carbons?
Like
No, what are those?
These are the carbons.
Those look nice, actually. Dang.
Dude, in here, it's actually kind of nice. It makes you feel a little bit better. It makes you feel like you're not being watched.
Are those cigarettes, bro? They kind of smell like.
Dude, right? It's just burning
You ever smoked cigarettes?
crack.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm talking about like on the weekends, dude, not weekdays.
No. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure I've tried it. Oh,
Yeah.
I used to be a Black and Milds guy.
Oh, man.
In college.
Wow, you're a wild man.
Dude, if that says anything about me, yeah, I was that guy. Like Steel Reserves, Black and Milds.
The only thing I've ever smoked is a cigar, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Keep it that way. You're not
Yeah.
missing out on cigarettes at
I
all.
know. I'm not was like an athlete my whole life, so I was like, I don't really want to fucking smoke.
How good were you at soccer?
I was decent. I wasn't going to play in college or anything, but,
Uh-huh.
good enough. My brother was much better than me. He played at West Florida.
Oh, this is pretty good.
Yeah, he was very good. Yeah, he was like all state, like the best player in the state. He had all kinds
What's he
of
doing now?
He works in sales. I need to get that fucker in pickleball, dude.
Yeah.
He's a good athlete.
Yeah.
I feel like he would just pick it up immediately.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. It'd be nice to play with your brother, too, You got any siblings?
I have 2 older brothers.
Okay.
Yeah. My older brother's a year and a half older than me. He's Danny. He's got 3 kids now.
Oh, damn.
So I'm an uncle to 3 kids, 2 girls and 1 boy. It's super cool.
Yeah, that is tight.
So a year and a half, we shared bunk beds, or we had bunk beds when we were younger. So that made us super close.
Yeah.
We used to do everything. We played paintball together.
Nice,
We
dude.
played competitive paintball.
Competitive.
Yeah, he was into skateboarding.
Yeah.
I was a poser and
Yeah.
just wanted to be
course,
cool. I was
yeah.
fat when I was a kid,
Oh, no way.
so I let that stop me mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
Now you're just shredded, bro.
shreds up. Dude, all the things you get bullied for just makes you a better person.
Yeah. You
That's
got
why I
bullied
need-
into being high, dude.
Heard it here first.
Yeah.
Everyone, thank you again for taking the time to watch this episode. My guest today is Louis Kobetz. He is a video producer. He is also the owner, founder, creator of the channel Pickleball Pursuit. Primarily started off doing reviews, and now he just added a new content pillar called Pursuit of 4.0.
Pursuit of 4.0 gold,
Pursuit
baby.
of 4.0 gold. Yeah.
Trying to stop being a scrub at pickleball.
I think that's the first piece of content I've watched all the way through yours. And it's nothing personal. I don't watch anyone's stuff really.
Oh, dude, I get it.
I'm a
Reviews are-
theft.
Yeah.
And I know if I watch someone's stuff, I'm going to steal it. I already stole some of the shots, like the cinematic
okay.
shots. Yeah.
That's literally video in a nutshell. It's just ripping and duplicating. You know?
It's so hard not to.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
just
yeah.
watch something, you're like, oh my God,
How do I
why didn't I
recreate
think
that?
of that?
That's literally how I got where I am. Like, I kid you not. Was first time I made like videos on YouTube. I was doing like the soccer channel, and I would see like all the really high level, brands that do reviews or like, different soccer. I'm like, how the hell do they get these images? So, dove into that rabbit hole, and then that led me to here, which is wild.
What was your soccer channel about?
I would do different types of free kicks. So like moving the ball certain ways. So like knuckling the ball, curving the ball, dipping the ball, like doing different tutorials and just like highlights of like the best free kicks that I've had. And then I would do like reviews of different soccer cleats and whatnot.
How many subs did you have?
I had 50,000.
50,000?
Yeah. It was, that's not like a huge channel, but it was like from like 2008 to like 2014.
2008 to 2014 with
Yeah.
50,000 subs is equivalent to probably like 100,000 now.
Yeah, it was a pretty, decent sized channel. I didn't get to 50,000 until like, I don't know, 2010, 2012, somewhere in there. But it was way before like the affiliate marketing time. So like I virtually made like no money off of that, which I wasn't doing it to make money. But, now that there's like an affiliate boom and like you can, make money off promo codes and whatnot, or, have people sponsor your videos and whatnot, I probably would have stuck with it a little bit longer. But also, soccer's kind of hard on the body. So I was kind of, getting over going out there for 2.5 hours, taking free kicks or
And
filming.
you filmed it, or Tabitha helped you film it?
I would film it, and then when Tabitha and I started dating, I thought about like making some more, and she filmed like a couple, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. This isn't as fun as I, used to, think it was. And then I got into like filming weddings and business videos and was more interested in that at the moment.
You think if you could have made money that the affiliate side that we have now was there then, that you would have stuck with it?
Yeah, I would have stuck with it for sure. Because the power of affiliate marketing, I'm sure you're very aware of this, and probably a lot of people are, but like it can be very lucrative, but it could also be like no money. You can make zero money from it. It's just all dependent upon how well the product is perceived or performs. So with that being said, lots of other similar channels after I quit would go do things like go and play with professional players and like go to all these like crazy events and get paid to do it.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, it would have, like, I totally missed out. And like, I'm not salty about it, but it would have been super tight to like go film free kicks with fucking Cristiano Ronaldo. Like, just like crazy stuff that people would do who had smaller channels than me.
Have you seen his YouTube channel?
No, I have not.
Dude, it went up to like, I think 44 million in probably like 24 hours.
Jeez.
And then like he did a video with Mr. Beast. I think now I feel like I'm probably exaggerating a bit. I feel like now it's at like 20 million subs or something.
Tom
Yeah.
Brady's doing like the same thing, right?
Yeah. They kind of came out around the same time.
Yeah.
And like Brady's is like kind of cool, right? And
Yeah.
He's not even he's not active, right?
I don't think he plays. No, he doesn't play football anymore.
It's cool. It's like,
Yeah.
what is a retired player? It's interesting that like content has allowed older generations. Like usually people wouldn't really give a fuck if you're older. They'd be like, no, we just want to see like the younger people in a way.
Right.
So it is cool. Like shout out John Q.
Yeah. I didn't realize John was 50 something.
He's 50.
Dude is in excellent shape.
Yeah.
I've never seen him in real life, but you can tell
No,
he's
dude,
a
you
little
thought I
jacked
had
up.
good
dude.
abs?
Oh, yeah?
Dude, his abs.
Dang, dude.
Dude, his arms are like ripped.
Yeah, he's jacked
So
up.
you haven't played against him either?
Haven't played against him, man.
Dude, those hands. Dude,
Yeah.
John Q's hands are so good.
Dang.
Yeah, you can't speed up on him.
All right. I'm going to test it out and get blasted.
Dude, he was using that gearbox at
geez.
Worlds.
Yeah.
So, like, if you sped up
A
on
weapon.
him, he just, like, punched that thing back, and that
Yeah.
ball came back at you so hard.
Dang.
Like, I'm pretty sure Justin had tried that a couple times on
Yeah.
him.
Justin's got good hands. He was off today. Today was a rough day for him.
Well, it was the first time he played in how long?
I guess like 4 weeks maybe.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
For 3-4 weeks, he was not playing bad.
Yeah. No, he's a solid player. He's better at the net than I am for sure.
Why don't you tell these folks why you're in town in Austin, Texas?
Yeah, I am originally from Baton Rouge. I live right outside of Baton Rouge, and Justin, my Pickleball Pursuit podcast co-host, and I are playing in a tournament in Bastrop. So it's, Bastrop's like, 30 minutes outside of Austin. Yeah. Gonna play in a little 4-0 tournament and trying to finally medal in a 4-0 tournament. Something I, has been just completely out of my reach for the last, I've done like 7 or 8 or 9 tournaments now that I think, and just I need to break the barrier, man. I think I'm finally there. I think this will be the one.
When did you start playing?
I started playing it June of 2022. So about a year and a half now.
Year and a half.
Yeah.
Did you have any racket or paddle sport background?
No, dude. I played ping pong like in my backyard with my brothers, but nothing like. I take that back. I did play tennis for a month in 6th grade, and then played in my first like match. Some kid was just like acing me left and right, dude, kicking my ass. His mom was the line judge.
What? Oh,
and
dude,
she looked at me. I'll never forget this. She looked at me, she's like, he just has a good serve today. I don't know what's going on. Like pity, like just, man, I was getting my ass kicked. It was
What a
hilarious.
nice mom,
Yeah,
though.
she was super nice.
Damn.
Yeah. And the kid was clearly significantly better than me.
Where's that kid now? Is it like...
God,
I
I think his last name was Alcaraz or something like that. No, he probably never even made it past middle school tennis. I was just so bad, I guess.
Damn.
Yeah.
Have you tried playing tennis recently?
No, I would like to hit.
Dude, it's sweet.
Yeah, my wife wants to play so badly.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, she's actually the one who got me into pickleball.
Oh, okay. We need that story.
Yeah, well,
Because I don't want to alarm anyone, but we did win 12-10 today. Yeah.
it's hard to beat up on your wife in pickleball. You gotta go home to that. You can't destroy her. But yeah, so basically, I was playing a bunch of golf, which, Jesus Christ, boring sport. Very fun, but boring at the same time. It's just like there's no athleticism. I mean, you have to be very athletic to play golf at a high level, but there's no like running or changing a direction or like, big exertions of energy apart from like hitting a drive and whatnot. Everything's like very controlled and meticulous and whatnot. And I was like, man, I miss playing soccer. Like, I don't want to play soccer anymore, but I want to play like tennis or something. Like, let me try tennis. And my wife Tabitha was like, why don't we try pickleball? And then like I looked at pickleball. I was like, that looks way easier than tennis. Let me get into that first, because tennis is. This is going to hurt a lot of pickleball people's feelings, but tennis is a totally different sport. I mean, it is very challenging and physically taxing and demanding, whereas pickleball is just like easier to get into. You can get to 3-5 relatively easy. I feel like getting to 3-5 in tennis is probably a lot more challenging.
Dude, people think serving in pickleball is hard.
Oh my.
Serving in tennis is like a good serve, and being able to hit it consistently is absurd.
Yeah, all the tennis people that get it, like there's this dude I play with named Jack in Baton Rouge. He's been playing tennis his whole life, and then he got into pickleball like 6 months ago. He's already like 4 or 5, winning open tournaments and shit. Like, dude's a baller. Yeah, trying to get him to pro one day.
You've played 9 different tournaments. Have you medaled in any of those?
Have not medaled in it, and I didn't even have a chance to play. Like, I never made it to the bronze. I've made it to like the knockout stages, and just lost in those the playoff rounds, if you will. But I feel like a couple of them I got kind of unlucky. You get bad draws, number one. You draw the best players.
That is real, right? Like if you're
Yeah.
pool,
Yeah.
If you're like in a pool of 4,
Mm-hmm.
and like the other 2 teams,
Yeah.
or like 2 out of the 3 ends up medaling,
Yeah.
you're like, well, I had
Yeah.
the more difficult pool.
Yeah, like the MILP tournament that me and Justin just played in. We played the second place team and the third place team in 2 of the 3. So I mean, we could have won both of those matches, but they were the better team, And I played very poorly in one game of each of those matches. So no, I was not deserving of winning this, but
What do you think it is for you that the difference between you playing a good match and then you playing poorly?
Definitely.
I hope you're enjoying the episode so far. I need to do a quick ad read for my favorite sponsor, Viore. And while I love a lot of the athleisure type stuff, what I do also really like is just stuff that looks more casual, stuff that looks like it happened before this whole athleisure craze came through. And the product that I'm referring to is this hoodie. It looks like a very standard hoodie, right? What's nice is that it's a lot softer, it's a lot more comfortable, it's more breathable. It's got all those same properties that makes Viore such a reputable and loved brand, but then it's applying it to some of those older, more like vintage products and looks. If you're interested in trying it out, you can go to viore.com/buildingpickleball and you'll get 20% off your first purchase. There's free shipping on any orders of $75 or more, and they also do free returns. Real quick, I'm going to do an ad for this product. This is the Peak Nandica. The reason I like the Peak Nandica is because coffee can be too much of highs and lows for me. Something else that I did not consider is the reason I don't like taking coffee in around like the winter time, or if I'm just sick, is because coffee is a diuretic, so it does dehydrate you. However, this product doesn't. This is something I realized just recently when I went back home and visited my brother and my nieces and my nephew. They got me sick. I also just want something that makes me feel good without the crashes. So if you're ready to make the switch and you want to try the Nandica out, try it out today. Right now you can get up to 20% off plus a free rechargeable frother and glass beaker when you shop exclusively at peaklife.com/pickleball20. That is PIQUE life.com/pickleball and the number 20. I love the rechargeable frother. I actually use that quite a bit for things like protein shakes or if I'm making matcha. I'll put the link in the description down below.
Trying to go too big for sure. I know you kind of noticed that like on my 4th and my 6th shots, I'm definitely trying to like push them back and be a little too aggressive, whereas I could probably take 30% off of that shot and it would be just as effective. I have decent rolls, especially my forehand roll. Like it's pretty good. Like that's one of my stronger shots, but I get a little too antsy, man. I want to win that point, dude. I don't want y'all up at the kitchen. Get back. Y'all's drops suck.
Jeff's lobby drop.
Yeah. No, Jeff's, dude, I was telling him after that lob drop he has is so deceivingly good. Like you're like, oh, this is going to be attackable. Boop. Nope. It just like goes a little further and pops up a little higher than you expect and gets like up in your grill. And then he's already there.
Yeah. And
he's just going to clean up.
And if he's like, even if he's on his way there and and the lobby drop bounces high, you're like, I should rip this.
Yeah.
And then you rip it and Jeff just like, he just hits like a soccer move, just like lunges in one direction and just punishes that ball.
He's an athlete. I was telling Tabitha after, I was like, I don't think I've ever seen anybody close the distance in the middle when you speed up a ball faster than him. Like there was one where he just like, boom, like hit it so fucking hard. And I was like, where did that come from? Like no one, I've played like, 2 people maybe that have ever done like that quick of a close down encounter.
Jeff Lee, the local legend.
I know, dude. He's going to be listening to this. And he's like, feeling so good about himself. There's really nothing negative you can say about Jeff. He's super, super nice guy.
He's the chillest guy. Yeah. Whenever if personal stuff happens to him, I never hear about it. It's usually just like, hey, you want to go play pickleball? Yeah. It's like the perfect job that he has now as the director of Pickleland.
Yeah.
That's all he does.
Great facility, by the way. If you're in the Austin area, you want to drive up north 30 minutes, man, go check out Pickleland. It is legit, like one of the nicer facilities I've ever been to.
I agree.
Yeah.
The first time I went there, it was a breath of fresh air because when you go there, it's like you're just there to play. And the facility, the sound is good. The lighting is good. There's enough room everywhere.
Yeah.
And I've never been there where it's too packed or too busy. Even on the advanced open play nights that Jeff hosts, he's like such a good gatekeeper about it.
That's awesome.
It was kind of like what we were talking about before of like you can tell a big difference in the success or like I guess like the intuition of certain people if they started in pickleball first or they started a business or idea in pickleball, then they got into pickleball.
Yeah.
There's a big difference.
Yeah.
Jeff just knows.
That's another thing with like tournaments too, man. Like some people just making tournaments just to make them. They're usually pretty poorly run, and just like way too many people signing up, and you're waiting an hour and a half after your scheduled time. It's just huge pain in the ass, man. If you make tournaments, Jesus Christ, just like set a limit and understand that every pickleball game is going to take a minimum of 15 minutes to 20 minutes. Like just give that time.
Yeah.
I hate going to tournaments and being an hour and a half, 2 hours late. It's very annoying.
Yeah. It's either that or you play like back-to-back games and then your like last pool match has been delayed by like an hour.
Yeah.
I don't know what causes those things. There's definitely tournament organizers who are really good, and it still happens. Have you played like 9 tournaments? Have you played at 002 yet?
No, I have not.
Dude,
Where's that?
They're like a local one. So they do like San Antonio, Horseshoe Bay Resort. I think they've done Waco, or they're definitely going to. I don't think they have done Houston or Dallas.
I think Justin was telling me about them.
Yeah,
apparently they're like super
good.
popular. Yeah,
really, really good.
Yeah.
And they get like really good talent too.
Yeah.
It's like all the best people in San Antonio, San Marcos, New Braunfels, Austin, those areas. The guy runs it, Seth. He was, again, great example. He was pickleball first.
Yeah.
He like was I don't know high level, but he was like a good player.
Yeah.
And then he started these tournaments. He never like overshoots them. People always feel like very fulfilled. They feel like they got their money's worth. And that's just like the most important part. And he has good sponsors too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's tight. I always love a good run tournament, man. Makes me feel good. Even if I get my ass kicked, which is a lot.
9 times.
Yeah.
It's about to be 10.
Yeah. Embarrassing.
How many have you played with Justin? Oh yeah, for people that are listening, Justin is. How would you describe Justin?
Justin is a paddle consultant. He used to be a product developer for Mark Pickleball, which is a pickleball paddle brand, and then he joined as my co-host for the Pickleball Pursuit podcast. And then a couple weeks or months later, I can't remember how long it was, he decided to go freelance paddle consulting. So he basically consults with brands and gives them ideas on how to make their product better, or just, strategic things that they can do to help elevate the quality of their products. So he does a lot of different stuff, but I'm probably butchering what he says. Justin, sorry, man. But
he just ruined all his future opportunities.
I just ruined his credibility. But to kind of bring it full circle, he and I have been playing in a bunch of tournaments. I think this will be our 3rd one since July. So I enjoy playing with him too. So he's
good for you all for sticking with each other.
Yeah.
There's people who just like, I don't know what for lack of better terms, pump and dump.
Yeah.
It's just like,
oh man.
They just like, it's a one and then done.
Yeah.
I should have said that.
Yeah.
I'm not editing that out.
Hit and quit, dude.
Yeah. I've played a couple of tournaments with Jeff. I would play multiple with, although I'm like psychotic, so Jeff would probably prefer to, and I'm not as good as him. So Jeff would probably prefer to play with someone else. But
you're a very good player, by the way.
Huh?
You're a very, very good player. Yeah.
Thanks, dude.
Don't sell yourself short.
You guys heard it.
Yeah.
Despite what you saw in the content creator match.
That's right. Well, that was really high level pickleball. People don't understand.
Have you read some of the comments?
No, I haven't looked at them. Yeah, any comments about your play, it's just like you can filter out 75 to 80% of that.
Yeah.
Because it's all just people with horrible egos who think they're better than they are.
The conditions weren't like terrific either.
Yeah.
So like there's times where like you would like think the ball. There was times where like I thought I had the dink right by me, and then I just lunge forward and hit the ball.
Yeah.
Because it was like windy. It was
Yeah.
like a little bit. There's like sprinkling some rain, but yeah, I like that you guys are sticking with each other so that you don't just develop yourself as a player. You develop partnerships.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that. I feel like that goes in tandem with like everything in life.
Yeah.
If you have like a spouse, if you're at work, you're working on yourself, but you're also working on what it's like to be partnered up with other people.
Yeah. It is a very team sport. I mean, obviously doubles, you know. It's like imagine like switching quarterbacks on a NFL team every week. Like
Yeah.
they would be terrible. Even
Yeah.
if they have like a ball and quarterback. It's just they don't know the system, they don't mesh well together, they don't know, you know, what each other are thinking or where they're gonna be, and it definitely helps to have like a consistent partner. You know, I love playing with different people, but in tournament play, I feel like that's when you get like your 2 or 3 solid people that you can count on.
Yeah.
And play with them.
How'd you meet Justin?
Tinder. I mean Grindr. No. When he worked at Mark, he was basically like he was their product developer, and I was reviewing their paddles, the Mark Kinetic, the Mark 1, and the Mark 1X, and he and I would just like chat back and forth on Discord about like different paddles and the materials of the paddles and whatnot, and then, you know, one thing led into another, and I was like, I want to start a podcast. And he's like, I'd actually be interested in joining. And then that's how we got, you know, linked up.
Yeah. That's dope.
Yep.
Sorry. Speaking of the channels and starting things, so you've like had the soccer channel, you were doing like wedding photography, videography. When did you start your channel? Why did you start your channel? And like, what did you bring over from having prior experience with a soccer channel?
Yeah.
And like thinking, okay, these are the things I should do if I'm going to start a new channel.
Right. That's a good question. I started, I think in November of last year. So it's probably right. Yeah. Right at a year. Yeah. And, I actually I was not going to do it. Like I wasn't going to start the channel. Would message companies when I first started playing pickleball and message them like, hey, I'll shoot a free video for you if you just send me your paddle, because like I don't want to buy the paddles. Like the really good ones were like, you know, $200. So I was like, let me just see if I can use my skill set to, you know, help them and therefore get a free paddle out of it. And this guy I play pickleball with all the time, Jordan Duong, I was like, dude, I have like 7 paddles now. Should I like start reviewing them online? And he was like, yeah, dude, do it. I was like, but I kind of suck. Like, this is back when I was like, you know, 3.0, 3.5, you know, but like, I've always had like a very, I've always been very in tune with like my body and like how different things feel. I'm not sure if that's from soccer or just how I'm wired or made, but you know, he was like, just do it. Like, who cares? Like, who cares if you're not as good as whomever else is doing it?
Yeah, Chris has a channel.
The man, dude, that 3.5 joke it's so wild, man. It really is. When you think about it, he's a solid player. You know, like legit.
He did well in 5.0.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's if you go play in a 5.0 tournament and you don't get stomped, you're a very damn good player.
Yeah.
Like straight up. But yeah, I started, I guess my thought process with all of that, and like how would I make this channel? What would I do differently than other people was just I knew that I had a skill set that very few people are going to have. Like Chris has the skill set of video production. You know, other people did not have that at that time. And I was like, let me kind of like lean into making this like visually appealing, and like everything I make, I try to have like some form of like emotion or like, you know, make you feel something, whether it be like, oh, excitement or, you know, whoa, that was like really cool looking shot. Just something that's going to make you feel something rather than just like looking at something for specifically only informative reasons. So that, I had my ASMR era, I call it, where like the first few reviews are just me, Lewis here with Pickleball Pursuit, going down and,
dude, it was so dark and
yeah,
so
dark and moody, man.
Yeah, dark. And I was like, dude, this guy's got the smoke machine going.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like very unique, very much like your style.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely tried to, I'm stemming from other people using like the turntable and whatnot. But I think I did have a unique video production side of my reviews, which, a lot of people are kind of like doing similar things and have done similar things in the past. Not to say like people are stealing my shit, because like,
call them out.
That's all it is. Yeah.
Call them out.
Braden.
Braden?
Aaron the editor. No, I'm kidding. Like I said, nothing I am doing is new or innovative in terms of like those paddle shots. But seeing more people do that has like made me be like, okay, now it's time to take it to the next level and like do things that are more, more outside of my comfort zone and that are going to level up production. So like I've gotten Tabitha to start coming to drill sessions and filming me and whatnot. Tabitha's my wife, for people who don't know. She's disgustingly talented for someone who does nothing to improve her video production skills. She's just very good with the camera in her hand naturally, and I always make fun of her. I'm like, you have any idea like how good you are at this? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, why don't you like just do something with it? She's like, I don't like it. And that, I respect that. It's not fun to do something you're not super passionate about. But I mean, like, she filmed shit that like I'd have to like pay something like $500-$600 just to like come do it. So she definitely is solid. But to kind of answer the question as like, what did I decide that I wanted to do differently with this channel than my previous soccer channel, was probably just, I guess, not focus on one thing. Like reviews are really fun. Like I like making the reviews. It's fun to test new paddles and whatnot, but it would be like a disservice to me mainly to not go and do like something that makes me feel like passionate or grow in some way. And that's like where the Pursuit of 4.0 series came out.
So good, dude.
Which is, like, it's kind of embarrassing to post it and like very vulnerable, but like, fuck it. Like, who cares? There's so many people who are going through the same shit as me that, want to get better. And, if I give them one nugget of information that helps them, or at the very least give them one thing that they're like, oh yeah, I need to go out there and drill or get better, or, some form of motivation, that I know it's a win.
I don't know anyone else that's doing anything like that. They might have the idea. They might be doing something similar as far as like the idea, but the execution is completely different. No one else is doing that. It's
appreciate it.
Fucking amazing. Like people have no idea how hard composition is.
Yeah, it's
and
very
framing.
challenging. Yeah,
and like when you see something, you're like, oh, that looks cool. You're like, that's not fucking obvious.
Yeah.
When you're doing like a ground up shot or like a ground shot of just like your feet, like you're doing like front back hops for like warm ups, and the way you're just framing stuff, you're like, when I look at it, I'm like, dude, if that didn't even occur to me, then like this is very much just not obvious. Like it's super, super cool. I found that
appreciate it, man.
Very easy to digest.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, man, I wonder what this is about. And I clicked on it.
Yeah.
And like immediately it just grabbed your attention. The story is good. The way you're narrating is really good. Mm-hmm. The B-roll, you didn't make it any longer than it should have been.
Yeah.
I think like it was just the right amount. The script was very good. It was very easy to like stay on top of. And I was like, damn, like if this continues to be a series, like this is a show.
Yeah.
This is a show. And you're like, damn, this is sick.
Yeah. I appreciate it, man. It is it's very fun. Like of all the things I've done in pickleball, by far, like those 2 episodes I'm most proud of,
I can't believe the lighting, like, or the color grading too. Mm-hmm. Even, are you shooting an S-Log?
Yeah, I shoot with Sony FX3 S-Log 3.
Damn. I don't
have my little have something called a little power grade if you ever get in DaVinci.
I use DaVinci.
Yeah.
Is a log? What's the best way to learn?
Best way to learn, dude. I mean, YouTube by far. I mean, it really is.
I'm so scared to use log.
You just have no. It's not hard. It's really not hard. It's much easier. We won't get into a gigantic how to shoot and log footage, but literally, if you just set the ISO at the native ISO, buy some ND filters, which are basically like sunglasses for your camera, and you can adjust the exposure with that. You just want to make sure your exposure is correct, and then you're good to go. It's actually easy to shoot and log. Sometimes you just need to have like something called a LUT that helps you view it, what like the final image will look like, so you can see if your exposure is right.
Can you do that on the FX3?
Yeah, you can use something called Gamma Assist, which is a setting in the on your FX30. You'll have it on there too, and it'll show what like a image with S-Log with a LUT on top of it would look like.
Is it a noticeable difference the color grading between a log and just regular?
It's some people don't shoot in log, but I mean, industry video production, everybody's gonna be shooting in log.
Oh wow!
So it's just like every commercial you've ever seen, every movie you've ever watched, every high-level video production piece that you've digested that was not filmed on like a phone was probably shot in log.
Damn.
Yeah.
I think you could shoot on the new iPhone 15s. You could shoot it in log. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Given your background, if you were to recommend a camera, there's tons of people who are getting into pickleball now and they want to record stuff and they want to start creating content. And even if they don't want, even if they're not like eager to know now, if you were to recommend, because there are a lot of motherfuckers, especially the professionals that need to start doing this, what camera would you recommend?
The easiest camera in the world, your phone.
There you go.
There's literally, I kid you not, an iPhone is better than literally every digital video camera that was made before 2006.
Oh, damn.
Like straight up, it's unbelievable how powerful your iPhone is. And you can edit the videos right there. You can buy microphones that connect to it. Shit, dude, like people shot movies on iPhones. Like,
I think Olivia Rodrigo did that music video too, right?
Yeah. Oh, dude, your camera is not in any way, shape, or form ever a limitation. I mean, if you can learn how to use it, the tool, like people use camcorders to make music videos. Camcorders look like shit, but it's like the artistic style and vision and how they utilize it and execute it that makes it, be like, oh, that looks awesome. I like the way that looks, even though it was shot with a potato.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't think anyone should ever put limitations on their ability to create content or create videos that they're passionate about based on their camera. So we all have phones. Every phone has the ability to shoot 1080 at least, and that's good enough. Just get out there and do it, man.
There's proof that there's like viral videos, viral content creators, TikTok creators who are like using just their phone.
100%.
Yeah.
In fact, like I'm pretty sure it's proven that iPhone videos perform better than like highly produced video cameras on like TikTok and Instagram. Like the highly produced ones don't perform as well in the algorithm.
I don't understand what that is.
I don't know.
You think it's because they don't have the right like story or like hook and viral? They just think, okay, aesthetically it looks good.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it could just be like a mass thing. Like there's way more iPhone videos than there are, like professional grade videos on TikTok and Instagram. But I remember reading something somewhere, and it could change now. That could be totally different. But the point is, you having a $2,000 camera is not going to make your videos necessarily better.
If anything, it's just more of a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, it's a lot to learn.
Learn a bunch of shit. And also, like an iPhone could fit in your pocket.
Oh yeah. It's the most convenient camera ever made.
Yeah, seriously,
it really is.
So you got your channel. Oh, something I thought that was really interesting is I kept saying when you started doing reviews, you're the only person, or I think you're the only person that I saw that kept doing giveaways in the review videos.
Yeah.
Like, where did that come from? And are the companies, do you reach out to the brands and you're like, hey, I'm going to do a giveaway with this video. Can you like give me this like additional product so I can give it to the audience, things like that?
Yeah. So what happened the first time I did it, I think it was the company's idea. They're like, hey, we'll give away a paddle to one of the viewers. I was like, oh, that sounds tight, actually. It's a good thing for, number one, engagement. Number two, it gives the viewer a reason to like watch it and something to be excited for, because, you know, shoot, dude, I've probably given away like 100 plus paddles, which is crazy to think. And, you know, paddles are not cheap, and people want newer gear and are excited about it. So, like, it's not a huge cost at all to the company. In fact, like, it's just the wholesale cost that they're losing out. And when you do giveaways, if you like ask people to comment and like and subscribe, you know, your channel's growing, obviously. So, I mean, you know, I've never shied away from the fact that, yeah, giveaways help my channel grow. But the way I do it is, you know, I'll have somebody comment and subscribe. That's the only thing they have to do, and fill out a Google form, so I know how to contact them with their email. And then I don't even use their email for like anything. Like, I don't have like a newsletter or like products I'm selling to people. It's just so
Eventually.
I can, you know,
Just
eventually
harvesting
maybe,
those
yeah,
newsletters,
eventually.
emails.
But I'll make the unsubscribe button very large and easy to easy to find. I don't like to be that guy sending out spam. But yeah, giveaways are definitely something that people get excited about. And everybody loves free shit, dude. They really do, you know. And I'm happy to, you know, I don't have to do a giveaway to review a product or whatnot. But I know people like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are taking their time to like watch something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, why don't I give you an extra additional bonus in addition to the information?
Yeah.
What other piece of content? So you have the reviews,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have the content pillar, which is the Pursuit to 4.0, which seems like educational,
Mm-hmm.
but also seems like community building and like connection with the audience. Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
What other pieces that you have in mind?
I'm not 100% sure where else I want to go, but I mean, I would definitely like to do some like experience-driven, like pickleball-related content. Like maybe, you know, there are companies out there or venues out there that have like really cool pickleball courts and whatnot that want to show it off and like, you know, show that experience. That'd be really fun. But you know, that's just like a little pipe dream. There's not a ton of that opportunity out there, but definitely, I think the two reviews and the Pursuit of 4.0 are so different. Like in the way, like one is just like informational and just like a quick turnaround thing. You know, the life cycle of a product is like, of it being popular is like 90 days. You know, like they just go so quick. You know, people make new paddles every other month. But the Pursuit of 4.0 gold is something that is like, I will never not be trying to get better at pickleball unless for some reason one day I'm like, I don't want to play pickleball anymore.
Even if your wife keeps beating you?
You talking about on the pickleball court or? No.
Dude, wink if,
Yeah.
if you
I'm very
need
safe.
help.
Yeah. I'm right where I want to be. No, yeah, it is. It's no, I've never been one to get like super upset about losing, you know, to really anybody. It's like, just, dude, I can't remember I saw like recently a stat. It was like percentage of points that Nadal won or Federer won. It was like 51% of points. So it's like losing is part of it, you know. He only won 51% of his points, and he was the most decorated tennis player of all time.
Well, that's
So
interesting.
yeah, it's very wild to think about. Like the best tennis player of all time only won 51% of their points.
What?
Yeah, check it out.
How's that possible?
I guess in tennis, you know, they're probably winning, you know, what is it? It's 15, 30, 40 and then game.
Uh-huh.
I guess they're winning like 30 game, 40 game, advantage game. So they're only winning, you know, most of their points or most of their games by like 1 or 2 points. And they're losing, you know, some as well.
Whoa, that's interesting.
Yeah. Tennis is a wild game, dude.
Dude, that serve is so hard. But the feeling when that ball hits your sweet spot on the racket.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it feels so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to try it out.
New ball smell, the
Yeah,
container
new ball
when
smells
you
so good,
pop
dude.
it
Oh,
open.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pickleball might need to do that. Just just to have it. I get it. That's a ton of waste. Like pickleball's like such a wasteful sport. It's just like all plastic and everything breaks within like 3 months and 6 months.
Yeah, they just need to figure out a way to make them like biodegradable.
Yeah, I think there are companies that do that, if I'm not mistaken. Definitely Franklin's ball. I don't know if they're new X40, but they made a ball that was biodegradable.
Speaking of companies, did you know what Pickleball Rocks was? Did you hear
Pickleball
about that?
Rocks?
The not the DEA, maybe it was the FBI, went into this home. It was this guy was like embezzling like $54 million of investor money.
Jesus.
And the FBI like broke into his home and to like look at, I think like find the documents and figure some stuff out. But he ran the company called Pickleball Rocks, which I've never even heard of. So I'm like, if I haven't heard of it, how does he even have $54 million? Like, whose money is he taking?
Rich people, bro. They're crazy.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, $54 million.
Pickleball Rocks.
Pickleball
Rocks.
Imagine
you spent your millions of dollars on that, and you're like, man, I got scammed. I'd be like, are you
got scammed by pickleball?
Yeah, no shit, dude.
Oh boy, yeah. Do you think pickleball is a goofy sport?
Goofy?
Yeah.
What's goofy is people playing tag. What's goofy is people playing cornhole.
Yeah.
I don't really think it's goofy.
Yeah. It on the outside looking in, I feel like people could think it's goofy, but man, I feel like as soon as you get on the court and start like hitting the ball, you're like, oh, this is actually like takes a lot of skill, especially to get like, 4-0, 4-5, 5-0 clearly. I mean, you just got to be insanely good.
Yeah, there's a lot of goofier shit out there. There's people that, what's that called? Where you ride like a fake horse, you ride the stick.
Oh my god,
show pony or something.
What is that called?
Hobby horse.
Yeah, hobby horse. I knew Tal would know.
Hobby horse.
You used to do that, huh?
Yeah, dude.
That's where we met, actually. Yeah. She had the fastest horse in the East, man.
But I guess people do kind of take that seriously. Like,
Oh yeah.
The dog competition that happens during Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The show dogs and whatnot. You're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, there is a lot of interesting things, but I guess they're all it's all a niche, different niche.
Yeah. People complain about the name and stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
I've never thought like twice about the name. Really.
Yeah.
I've never invested time in like, wow, this should be like a new name. Like,
It's too far gone.
yeah.
Yeah, you can't change the name.
If people are complaining about it and talking about it, maybe that's a good thing.
Exactly. Yeah. All publicity is good publicity.
Yeah.
That's a tough word to say. Damn.
Publicity.
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 And I work in marketing, dude.
Pickleball publicity.
Yeah, pickleball publicity.
Pickleball Pursuit publicity.
Yeah. PPP.
What advice would you have for someone who wants to start a YouTube channel?
The best advice is just to start, like for real. There's no, you don't have to be a talented player. You don't have to be a talented videographer. You don't have to be a talented editor. All you have to be willing to do is.
Are you describing Chris?
Chris is actually pretty talented.
He's definitely talented.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know he like juggles.
Oh, yeah?
He can juggle.
Yeah.
He can do the Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, speaking of goofy, dude.
Goofy.
Rubik's Cube.
Yeah. Speed cubing.
He's speed cubing, yeah. Isn't that how he met his wife?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's
Wife's
wild.
super cool.
That's wild. Yeah.
Sarah.
I've heard, all jokes aside, you've got to be a fucking genius to do speed cubing. Like, seriously. I've watched those videos on YouTube trying to solve the 4-sided Rubik's Cubes for my daughter. I can't figure that shit out. But I'm also an idiot, so.
Your daughter's like, the fuck? This
She's like,
is.
Dad, why are you so dumb? I'm like, you're 5 years old. Take it easy.
Do you pay attention to analytics?
I don't pay too much attention to analytics, but I do notice like when something is doing well, and I don't look at analytics analytically. I just look at analytics to see how they're doing. Like,
dude, when you get that 1 of 10,
Yeah.
and then it starts throwing the confetti,
yeah,
that is
dude,
one of the
feels so
best
good.
feelings.
Yeah, that invader video, that invader review was my 1 of 10.
You already
recently.
put one out?
Yeah,
Are you the first one to put it out?
yeah.
Okay, I saw
Actually,
a thumbnail.
yeah.
I didn't know if it was you or
I don't know
John
how.
Hughes. Okay.
I guess
What's that thing at?
It's probably like 7,000 views now. Yeah, which is pretty decent. Like that's really really solid review. Anything over like 4,000 or 5,000 is like really good for my channel. I mean, that's like, you know, a shitty video for Chris and John Q. But I'm just a chump, so you know.
What do you think about the Invader? Because you were playing with it today.
That's
what
my
were
main
you using
paddle.
Before?
Before I was using the Neonic Flare. I was using that for a couple weeks, and then before that I was using the ESQC from Paddle Tech. I was using that for about a month and a half, which is pretty long for me. And then I played with a bunch of other paddles before that. I have this running joke on my podcast. It's actually one of our segments called New Week, New Maine. So because I would switch paddles every week so much for a while, we decided let's just make this a shtick. But J3K Pro, that was probably my longest main. I've made that for like
really?
I made that for like 4 months. Yeah.
Dude, I loved the J3.
Yeah.
And then I like reached out to the guy, like, can I get the J3K? Yeah. And he sent me the J2K, and
Yeah.
I loved that paddle.
Yeah.
I still think a lot of paddles can't really compete with it just because of the value.
Yeah.
Like it's 160, you use the discount code.
Yeah.
It's like such a good all-around paddle.
Yeah. Those Honolulu makes some. People say that like the J2K is all that they have, but the J3K is one of the best standard shape paddles that I've ever played with. So, or the J3K Pro.
What's the difference?
The Pro has a tighter Kevlar weave, which gives it a little bit more pop and a little bit stiffer feeling. That paddle's pretty badass. I probably could pick it up right now and play with it again. But Invader is just such an easy paddle to play with. It's just like I don't have to think about the paddle. If I don't have to think about the paddle, that's really good because I'm a nutcase. When I have to think about the paddle, I can't control anything. Just pop up city, getting smashed, getting body bagged, crying, you know.
Saw you cry today.
Yeah, I cry a lot.
A couple times.
Yeah.
What were you expecting from that paddle? Because it has the titanium and fiberglass, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I expected they listed the specs incorrectly on the website, so I was a little worried about it at first. And then whenever mine came in, I weighed it, measured its swing weight, twist weight, and all that, checked the balance point, and it was like a very ideal paddle for me numbers wise, just how it was set up. And I, obviously modify my paddles to my liking, but with titanium, for anybody who's kind of unfamiliar with like what different facing material does, titanium's like a weave. It's actually PET, which is polyester electroplated something. For whatever reason, just forgetting the name. But basically, it's just like a carbon fiber weave with a string of polyester that is colored, whether it's a metallic color or like green, red, blue, gold. They make it all kinds of different colors. But to kind of make it more simple to understand, it's just like a very soft and plush feeling paddle with very little vibrations. So like paddles that have like weaves, like Kevlar, 3K weave, and titanium generally feel softer. So with that soft feeling and the layer of fiberglass in the third layer of the face, it gives it additional power and pop, which most titanium paddles do not have like tremendously high power or pop. So it's a very interesting combination of materials, which we're starting to see be the trend of pickleball paddles, is just having different facing materials and different ways that they're laying up the faces to make them perform better, and then also utilizing like internal weighting and different foams and cores and whatnot, which is a whole another discussion that the paddle industry is just being very interesting about, which is foam. So the Invader is just like a super easy paddle to play with. Very, very easy to control, but still provides plenty of offensive capabilities, which is kind of like right in my realm. I don't want anything that's like overly powerful, because then I suck. I'm not good enough to play with power paddles. So
that's how I feel,
yeah.
dude.
I just feel like it's hard.
A power paddle.
It's hard.
Yeah. You could just end up doing a little bit too much too easily.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like certain shots you can't really hit as easily
Yeah.
with a power paddle. But I think you kind of notice that with lower level players or players who are so eager to get a power paddle, and then once they use it and get a hold of it, they're like, oh wait, this is not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
And they end up going back.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, just go with an all court paddle.
Yeah, just get something that you don't have to, just get a paddle you don't have to think about, man.
Did you
And
ever
just,
play with the Selkirk boomstick? Did you try it?
No, I haven't tried that yet. I've tried the 007, which I didn't really love it. I'll probably do like a kind of a first look or like first impressions of it. The Infinigrit is a promising, potentially promising technology, but there's no evidence of efficacy, like it being actually going to have longevity of, spin generation. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, I mean, I haven't had anybody be like, oh yeah, I've been playing with the labs for 4 months and it's just still killing it on spin. Nothing's changed. I mean, that could happen, it very well could, but they're just
take some time
Yeah.
since it just came out.
Yeah, it's only been like 2 months, so.
They had pros and maybe not just pros, but other players like using that Infinigrit for a while so that they could support that claim per se.
You can't trust the companies, though. You can't trust what they say, man. You got to test for yourself, which is, I think, one thing that you see why, like Chris and John and Braden, if you're not familiar with who those are, that's Pickleball Studio, John Cube, and then Pickleball Effect. They are very like analytically driven with their reviews and like super hardcore about like testing it to its full I guess run it through the gauntlet, for lack of a better term, and they go through like longer testing periods than I do, which is good because like pickleball paddles are not as durable as other different performance products in different sports, like tennis rackets. You just change the strings and you're fine. Like soccer cleats, them bitches can last a year. Like it's just different in pickleball. Everything breaks super fast. But all that to say, they put a lot of effort into testing the durability of stuff. Since I'm like in the camp where it's like nothing is durable, why would I worry about that? Like everybody knows they're going to break. Like if we get to like some technology that is like really like Infinigrit, that's something that I would definitely want to test longer to see if it actually holds up. But the normal pickleball paddle with no durability enhancements.
What are you talking about when you say durability? The core or the face?
Primarily, okay, so with Gen 3 paddles, which are paddles that have like foam somehow in the core, those are generally, you're going to see those break in, which is like this phenomenon that people describe as paddles getting hotter, like more powerful. All that really is the core failing. Like anything that's using foam in the core is likely compressing and becoming more or less rigid and less springy, so like the face can dwell in more and then rocket the ball off.
Oh.
So they're basically breaking. Like those paddles are basically breaking. But grit texture, so if you ever get a pickleball paddle that's made out of like raw carbon fiber or anything that's using peel ply, which is epoxy, you can feel like little surface roughness, and that breaks down as you strike the plastic pickleball on the face after a while. So 3 months of heavy play, you're going to have a significantly smoother face than a new pickleball paddle and not be able to put as much spin on the ball, which
Does this run true for the proton?
Proton is different because they use something called the nanotach, which is it can't be a rubberized, but it's literally a rubberized material that they put on the face that kind of like grips the ball. The jury is still out whether or not it actually holds up over time. Not very few people have tested it apart from pros, but from what the pros say, it is pretty much like indestructible, to a certain extent. Like I think Andre Dasky was playing with his for like 6 or 7 months, like the same paddle, which is insane. Like Travis Rettenmeyer, he used to be sponsored by Engage,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Travis is awesome.
Yeah, he seems like a really funny dude.
Yeah, shout out to that dude. He's
Yeah,
dope.
I enjoy Tennis Sucks podcast. They crack me up, dude. But he was saying like he switched his Engage paddle out every week. Every week he'd have to switch it out because the grit would wear down. And like Engage makes like high quality stuff, so it's not like they're making just like shitty paddles. That's just how it is. That's just the nature of the business. And if you're playing at the highest level, you're gonna want the best performing product.
Yeah.
And it's just a sad current state of pickleball paddles is they are so poor in terms of durability.
That's so interesting. Yeah, I had to ask about proton. I didn't know if you knew something different. Obviously, I went to like that event and stuff, and you hear pros talk about it, but I don't know. Like, I don't have reason to believe that Andre is not honest. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, no. I got to take that back. I don't know. It's very interesting because you meet the guy in person. You're like, this is awesome guy. He's like a solid guy. He seems like a guy with high integrity. Mm-hmm. But then, of course, like the Pine Tar stuff came out, and you're like, well, what was the deal with that? And I won't say it was one way or another because I don't know the truth. Yeah. But so I did want to see if like what your thoughts were on that paddle, because he was one of those guys who's like, I've been using the same paddle, and I'm like, well, were you? I don't know. Maybe this was a great marketing play from Proton. But yeah,
I have played with the Proton paddle, and it does get really good spin.
That texture feels crazy.
Feels awesome. Yeah,
you're like, this is so hard to believe that this is legal on a paddle.
Yeah, but there are supposedly issues with quality control, and, like consistency of that texture across different paddles. So maybe, and they've also had like really big issues with like production quantity, and being able to get like paddles to, apparently like they just like couldn't give him new paddles, and that's why he was playing with paddles for so long. So maybe the spin was, or maybe the surface was degenerating, and he was adding some sauce to it. But I don't know.
Yeah, that's another thing. He could have just been making the claims while he was using the supposed substance that he allegedly used. But that's also another interesting thing is like Travis and Andre, I'm pretty sure Andre is no longer using it. Mm-hmm. Both of them are using the raw carbon fiber face paddle, aren't they?
Yeah. The Roadrunner, or raw Kevlar, or whatever it is.
Yeah. Using that black and white one, or at least Travis is.
That's like a $400 paddle, right? Or a $300 paddle or something crazy.
I think the Roadrunner is, right?
Yeah.
I think Andre's using the Roadrunner.
That's crazy.
It's a dope paddle.
I will say the design. Yeah, it looks awesome. I saw one out.
$400 is.
Yeah. You don't need to spend more than $150 on a paddle.
I would agree with that statement. Yeah. I am on that. I am of that vein of like that sentiment that it really shouldn't break the bank for people.
Yeah. Coming from someone who gets them for free, I would never spend more than $150. I mean, I've tested almost every paddle out there, and there's a lot that are like 120, 110 that do 99% that the $200, $250, $300 ones do. Sometimes more.
Sometimes it's just marketing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm not gonna say any names.
You're not?
Not gonna say any names. Selkirk. Selkirk does have a few very good paddles. Their Halo line is very good.
Dude, the Halo Power?
Yeah.
That gray one?
Yeah.
That Rohrbacher uses? Well, she uses the green one. I slept on, I overlooked that paddle. Well, I just never got it in my hands, right?
Yeah.
Selkirk doesn't, it wasn't until recently I started getting Selkirk's products.
Yeah.
Shout out, Dakota. But that Power one?
Yeah.
That thing fucking hits.
Yeah, their new Halo line is solid. The one with the Kevlar one is legit.
The red one, or red or blue?
You
like that one?
It's a perfectly good paddle. Like there's nothing negative I can really say.
Yeah. You were talking about Selkirk, the Kevlar one?
Yeah, the Kevlar one is solid.
Those only come in 14, right?
Yes.
14 millimeter.
The Control one, I'm 99.9% sure it's 16 millimeter, but it's a shorter handled one, so it's not elongated. It's a standard shape is what we refer to it as.
The Epic.
The Epic, yeah. Actually, I take that back. They might, now that you say that, I forgot. They do those weird naming schemes. They might have an elongated 16 millimeter.
I didn't know they made 16 of that, but...
Yeah. Good paddle. Perfectly good.
Is that the all black one?
Yeah, that's all black. All black carbon fiber one. It has like it's 18K, so it looks like it has like those squares.
Oh, the Vanguard Pro?
Yeah, the Vanguard Pro is
That's another one.
does control. Now I'm losing them. There's so many paddles out now. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I remember Pickleball Will had to like make videos of the naming the convention, whatever that word is, the terminology for it. But the Vanguard Pro, I like that paddle. Like I'm thinking about it because I'm going to put out like a review on it. But that's the one I use for the content creator match. But you're right though. Like this is something I'm going to say in the review is that paddle's what, like $240?
Yeah, $230, $240 is a lot of money.
I just don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I like Selkirk. I really do. But I also can see like maybe they have like marketing expense. They have overhead costs, right? As a larger organization.
Yeah.
But I'm like, dude, when you guys came out with the 002, that was like kind of, I guess like where we're at now, it doesn't really mean anything. But I mean, I thought that was like pretty breakthrough. Like everyone thought it was.
Everybody did. Yeah.
That's so cool. It was like Labs was always synonymous with innovation. Mm-hmm. And ever since then, they just haven't put anything out that was like pure innovation.
Yeah.
But I get it now. Like the Infinigrit and they also the core on the 007, they're like doing things that would be great. Like if Infinigrit does work, then one of the upsides my buddy JT was talking about was like that does change how raw carbon fiber faces paddles can look in terms of design.
100%. Yeah.
But have you tried the 008?
No, I have not. Yeah.
Oh.
007 is I don't get all of the Selkirk paddles. They'll send me a few here and there because I'm not as big as the Chris. I'm sure Chris gets everything, or Chris and Braden get all of them. Not to say that like out of jealousy. I actually would prefer not to get every single paddle. There's just so many paddles. It's insane. It's like almost I'm like drowning in paddles right now. I can't review them all obviously, but I want to try to test as many as I can to see like which ones are the really good ones, and I don't want to just slip through the crack.
What for you? What makes a paddle worthy of reviewing?
Yeah, number one is its performance. Like that is, if it's not a good paddle, I'm not going to review it. Like there's just no chance. I've reviewed bad paddles before. One time, and I'll say the name, the Kiwi Sliced, or the Kiwi Spiked, and I told the owner Larry, who's like the nicest guy in the world, I was like, hey man, don't like the paddle. I have a few positive things to say about it. I'm happy to not review it. And he's like, no, man, that's totally fine. And like, while that is fine, also, I'm not in the business of dogging out companies and like potentially bringing them down just because I'm one person's opinion. There may be, 10 people who get that paddle and 7 or 8 of them love it. But comparatively to all of the other paddles that I've tested and what I and most of the industry defines as a high performing paddle, it did not meet the standard that that I agree with, so, or that collectively the community agrees with. It's and like it's just like a bad review is like doesn't really do much other than just like kind of negatively associate a pickleball company with having bad products, and like they have 3 or 4 other paddles that are very good. It's just like I don't really care to review your bad stuff. I'd rather review your good stuff and show the people what to buy. Like if there's I don't know. Chris is more cutthroat with it than I am. Like he'll just be like, this paddle sucks. I don't care what anybody says. And like that's really respectable and admirable of him to do that. But also he just wasted so much time. Like so much time on that review. And he's in a different class of, he is like you said it before, like he can create demand on a paddle, but more so his role is almost like he's educating the entire community because he already has laid the groundwork of having the utmost of respect on paddles and how they perform and how they compare to other different paddles. So,
dude, I remember when he did that paddle company list I think it was last year, because Will and I were chilling together. We were fucking geeking out. What's the lowest tier? Like a F?
F, or what is it?
It was
F
like,
tier? Yeah, it's got F tier. Yeah.
dude, I think Paddle Tech he had
Yeah.
was there.
Yeah. And
And
now they're so popular now. They might be probably top 3 brands right now.
yeah, the way he was just like shitting on companies, but yeah,
He's
I do-
ruthless.
yeah, I do. That you do make a good point of like what's the point? Like you could
Yeah.
potentially like tank a company, but I do see for someone, I guess like in Chris's role,
Yeah.
or in his position and like the influence he has on the community, but not just
Mm-hmm.
the influence. Like, yeah, he's kind of regarded as someone who like like. We kind of want to see that.
Yeah, of
Someone's
course, yeah.
got to do it. Someone's
Yeah,
got to
somebody's
talk
gotta
about
do it,
battles
yeah.
about like that aren't good. And
Yeah.
if companies are putting out shitty products,
Should be called out for it. You know?
yeah,
I'd rather just do it on Instagram. Just be like, hey, this battle wasn't good. Here's the story. You know, you don't have to worry. You don't have to waste 10 minutes of your time watching me.
what do you
tell
think
why it's bad.
separates your channel from other reviewers? If someone were to be like, why should I watch Pickleball Pursuit stuff?
Oh, that's super easy, man. I am kind of what you said about the Pursuit of 4. It's like I don't make anything longer than it needs to be. Like I'm not gonna, no offense to John or no offense to Chris. I mean, they're making like 18-minute reviews. It's like Jesus Christ, dude. Like
Yeah, they nerd.
they
out,
nerd
man.
out, and that's
Yeah.
good, man.
Yeah.
That is going to cater to a subset of people who want to know every single thing about the paddle. But I would rather give you the things that really matter and not waste time on things you could just literally look up at the product page and be like,
okay,
so it's just like, not that they do that, but they'll just go deep into like spin numbers, which I think are flawed, power.
it's inconsistent.
Yeah, it's
man.
very inconsistent. I mean, like, how often do you hit the center of the face perfectly every time?
That's something I brought up about reviews that annoy me. Like people were like, why don't you have the spin numbers? I was like, because I've seen 4 different reviewers
Yeah.
all give different spin
Yeah.
rates.
Yeah.
And also like for most people, this really doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Does it get good spin? Yes. Does it get bad spin? Like, all you need to do is answer that question.
What's a paddle that's given bad spin?
It's hard to do now. Yeah,
okay.
it's pretty challenging to do.
That's what I was at. That's why I asked. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
If it's really just dependent upon how gritty the face is, as well as the type of facing material that's being used. But for the most part, people are using good, high quality materials and high quality epoxy that is helping produce that spin. But like paddles, like the Friday paddles, those get really good spin out the box, but then since they're paint grit texture, they wear down quicker. So there is that thought process, but they're also like $80 a piece or like $100 for 2 or something crazy. So it's just, there's always like a cost performance, I'm not sure, the word is eluding me, but a cost to performance thing that you can compare. And like, you don't always need the best spinning paddle. You don't need the most long lasting paddle if it's $70 and performs just as good as a $150 paddle, because you can buy 2 and it'll last probably a month or 2 longer than the $170 paddle. But yeah, to bring it back, I know you kind of asked me like what separates, but definitely I want to make things as digestible as possible. I want people to enjoy the video. I want you to feel something a little bit, like I want you to feel whether it's like excitement or like
Little tingle.
Yeah, a little tingle. Yeah, dude, I'm trying to tingle you. Yeah, make you tingle a little bit. It's so funny because like in my reviews in the past, I'm like so serious on camera, but like, I mean, you can tell like I am one of the least serious people you've ever met. Brian walked in the pickleball center today, and like probably in 30 seconds, I was like, dude, you look hotter in person than I thought you did on, just gassing him up, just saying stupid shit.
I have you on camera on the story. It said, I'm trying to beat up my wife. Dude, Kyle Trenga, Dude Smash Media was like, did he just say he's trying to beat up his wife? And
On
he's
the
like,
pickleball court. All right. I'm trying to beat her up on the
Dude,
court.
that wasn't specified.
Yeah. I should have specified that. Me and my wife just say off the wall stuff all the time. It's just kind of
My kind of people.
yeah. That's our humor. Just saying dumb shit, just to have fun, man. You can't take life too serious, you know.
Have you changed your persona on your channel?
A little bit, yeah, for sure. Definitely in my podcast. My podcast is like this. Like we don't take it very seriously. I mean, we do take it seriously, but we're not trying to be these perfectly polished people who are super analytical and you know, having everything you know, in line and not stepping outside of our comfort zone. You know, like I don't care. Like I curse on my podcast, you know.
Do you edit those out?
I edit everything. Yeah, myself.
Do you edit the cuss words out?
Oh, no.
Does it affect viewership?
That's a good question,
Like
probably.
in YouTube, not like if someone's watching and they're like, oh, don't curse, then I just wouldn't.
That's a good question. I don't know.
I don't know if YouTube punishes you for that or not.
Yeah, I tell you what, Tennis Sucks podcast would get 0 views if that's the case, because Travis is dropping F-bombs left and right, dude. That dude doesn't hold anything back.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a really good question. I probably should have looked at that. That might be pertinent information to know. Because, I mean, we rarely, like every now and then, we'll say like the F word, but that's like a rare occurrence. I'm dropping like shit and damn all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you start the podcast? Like, did you have a goal for it?
The podcast was primarily started because I enjoy talking about, you know, pickleball, paddle related stuff. And it was an easier way to talk about more paddles and just kind of like inform people on different things about paddle construction and whatnot. There's a lot of people that do a really good job, like Chris and John and Braden. I know I keep saying their names, but you know, they all do like similar things that I do, but have been doing it for longer. And what separates us is like with Justin being a former like product developer, he has like tons of like insider industry knowledge because he used to like talk with manufacturers and factories and knows like all these different materials. Like he was the person who found out that titanium faces are actually not really made with titanium.
Oh, he was?
Yeah. So there's been a couple things that he has brought to light in the podcast that was not like a commonly known thing in the industry.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So he's a very valuable asset, much more valuable than me. I'm just there to look pretty and stupid. But no, all jokes aside, we definitely try to keep it fun, keep it informative. And the whole reason to do it was just to talk about stuff that we enjoy and, you know, not trying to like make a big podcast that is sponsored and make a bunch of money off of it.
Yeah.
You know, not that pickleball would do that, but you know, of course we would accept sponsors, but we're going to be very selective about who is sponsoring. Yeah.
What kind of sponsors are you guys looking for?
Somebody in the pickleball space for sure, but
Okay.
no one who is affiliated with paddles. Like that is a direct conflict of interest because as a paddle reviewer, I need to remain very impartial to, you know, any brands. As soon as, you know, like if Selkirk sponsored me, Jesus, like that'd be bad news. Like, you know,
They're definitely not now.
oh man, yeah, the 007 is really good. Weird how Lewis started bumping up, you know, Selkirk. Now he's got that sponsorship. But yeah, no, there is a potential title sponsor that we have coming. I won't announce it just in case they, you know, decide to fall back or it's
After
not
they
a
listen
good.
to
Yeah,
this, they're
yeah,
gonna
it's
be
not
like,
a good.
"Cut."
No, he's listened to our podcast before, which is good. We, you know, we're very open. We're not like, hey, yeah, this is it's a kid friendly podcast. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
there's Justin and I are very open, but anybody who's in the pickleball space that does things that actually matter, that's the kind of, you know, companies that we would be
That's cool.
interested in. Yeah, I don't want to say the name, but you know, anything that's like helping people get better at pickleball or just helping the industry or providing really unique and nice products, you know, something like that Viore, if they ever did pickleball stuff. That'd be a very good comparison, but in the pickleball space.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, there's definitely a lot of brand founders that listen to this, so shout out if they are interested. How would they
hit
get a
us
hold
up.
of you? What's the best way?
Best way is just emailing me, pickleballpursuit@gmail.com.
Pickleballpursuit@gmail.com.
Yep.
There you go. Are you still doing video producing? Like, what is your time split between this and a other job or career?
Right now, I would say it's 75% pickleball, 25% video production. Just because the amount of time you have to put into like creating and making videos is much higher with these YouTube videos than it is to like go on set and shoot a commercial and edit it.
Why?
Because with each video, each review I make, like I have to test the products extensively. I'll usually play like a minimum of like 8 hours with a paddle. So that's about 2.5, 3 sessions of like heavy playing. And then I'll need to film that obviously. And then I'll need to film B-roll to, supplement the footage in the review because I want it to be interesting and engaging. And then I'll need to film like me talking about it, which is like another, half hour. And then I'll have to edit it. So that's quite a bit of time when you add it up, which sometimes, for anybody who's not familiar with how like I would make money off of that, basically companies will give me a promo code, which will give the viewer a discount. And with that discount associated transaction, a percentage of the money is sent to me, whether it be like $5 or all the way up to like some people offer 20%, which is, sounds like a lot, but from $100, $120 purchase, it's, $20-$25, which is still good. But with all that time and, effort you put into it, there's no guarantee that you're making any money off of. And in fact, like an embarrassing amount of reviews have been like goose eggs, which is totally fine. I enjoy making these videos. And in fact, like when I started, I didn't even know you could make money until like Vatic gave me a promo code. And they're like, hey, here's a promo code. And I was like, oh, I got $5 off of this. Yeah. Made like $20 the first month. I was like, damn.
It
this
is
tight.
Very tough being like a YouTube content creator these days, unless you're someone who's has idea and execution down very well. But if you're looking at just AdSense, it is so hard to like use that. It's so hard to go into this field and think that, oh, I can just make a living off AdSense. Like, I'm pretty sure you're not going to. Most people, not to steer other people away from it, but it's just like find other ways of making money. And ambassadorship or affiliate sales is definitely one route.
I will definitely say if you want to get into video production or video content creation and the top reason is to make money off of it, you're already on the wrong foot. It should be because you want to, you enjoy it, you're passionate about it first. Making money is not guaranteed. So it's just like, don't get started in this for the wrong reasons. Don't get me wrong. Making money is important and like you need to make money to survive and live and provide for your family or yourself. But I would advise anybody who's looking to do any form of content creation, don't start just because of the money, because there's no guarantee you'll make money, number one. And number two, that'll kind of come off as very, what's the word, kind of crass or, off-putting. People will smell that pretty quickly,
Yeah, we just see it's like the tip of the iceberg, right? We only see like the Mr. Beast, the Ryan Trahans in our field. Chris Olsen, he's very successful. But then you see the success of them, but then you also look at you and Chris. It's like, oh, they may have been doing YouTube. Well, actually, you and Chris are very similar. So it's like they may have been doing the Pickleball YouTube channel for maybe 2 or 3 years. But then before that, you had the soccer channel. Chris had his speed cubing channel, which that got up to, I think, 90,000.
Dang.
90,000 subs.
I gotta go check that out.
Yeah, dude. And then, but you also, even before that, you had your cinematography background. So it's like you had film and photo. So it's like the amount of skills that you built up leading up to this was the sum of like 8 to 10 years, probably.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're ready, if you have the margin to do like the cushion to allow yourself that much time, then probably, that'll probably work out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. Like we were talking about earlier, I think social media, like a YouTube channel or Instagram, whichever one you excel at and choose to invest more energy and resources into, it's just a vehicle, right? Like if you want to get into videography or if you have a passion for that, then allow YouTube to be your portfolio for
100%.
when you get into like submitting your videos to like a video producer, cinematographer.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a very common type of work for people who don't have a client but want to attain a client, and they make something called a spec ad. And what they'll do is they'll just get a bunch of people to work on a job for free and make something that would be similar to what said company would pay a video production crew to produce, in hopes of getting more clients or just having that piece of work to showcase in the future.
Yeah, there's this YouTube and primarily Instagram. His name's Harrison. I think his name's Harrison Green.
Sounds familiar.
Really, really good editor, really good at like cinematography. He did that exact thing. He created spec ads for a bunch of brands. One was Prime. So that's already a massive brand. And then his most recent one was Poppy.
Yeah.
Those drinks, like amazing, right? And he wanted to start working with that brand, created the spec ad. They ended up signing him or like doing a project with him.
Dude's a boss.
Yeah. I remember back in the day, the most popular spec ads were Nike.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nike.
You YouTube that?
Yeah. Don't do a Nike spec ad.
Yeah. Put a Nike spec ad. You'll see so many of those.
Yeah. Just a word of advice. If you're going to do a spec ad, do it for a very niche, small brand. Not small, but, a niche brand that people are not already going to have 17 different spec ads for, So kind of pick that, I guess, that Goldilocks of a company that is not necessarily a giant company that's going to be getting billions of people doing the same thing you're doing.
Yeah. That's interesting. Like going into your background of this cinematography, we were talking about before about the lighting from that movie, Only the Brave, like Josh Brolin. I'm going to put up a photo of the image, but if you were to describe, like when I asked you, these are things that I didn't know, but I was like, how do you think they did this lighting? If you were to like explain it, how did they likely do that lighting?
Yeah. So in cinematography, there's quite a different ways to achieve, an image that is pleasing, and a lot of that is stylistic, or personal. So for me, and kind of what you're doing with these shots is like, as you guys can see, there's like a shadow on our side of the face that's closest to the camera, and the light is shining on the far side of our face. That helps create shape, and there's many different ways to achieve that. You don't have to have as drastic as a fall off from key side to shadow side, but you can flip this and shoot it in reverse, and people call that high key lighting. But what you were kind of showing me was a frame where they kind of had a big, the best thing to do is to have a big soft source when lighting, because it's going to evenly spread the light on faces. As you can see, like right now, probably like this spot on my head is probably brighter, and this spot on my cheek is probably brighter, just because the size of our fixtures that we're using are not huge. So it when you have a smaller source, it makes the light a little harsher. Sorry for bumping the mic, guys. But basically, you want to have as soft as a light as possible while still creating some shape and contrast. And what they were doing in that frame was lighting some top down, which a lot of times can basically, if you're like a snob, can cause emotive, feelings, and, lighting in different ways can really change how you perceive a character. So like, for instance, in Godfather, all of the people are top lit. So everything, all lights are right above people, and they kind of like, you can't see their eyes very well, and like they have this little shadow under their nose that makes them look a little bit more mysterious and scary, and how someone would likely look at a member of the mafia. So with lighting, you really just have to decide why am I lighting this scene? What is the emotion behind the scene? And you can go style it in that sense as to what you're trying to achieve. But it's just a huge rabbit hole. But if you are someone who wants to get into lighting, I would highly suggest watching The Wandering DP on YouTube. He's Patrick O'Sullivan is a very decorated DP who has way more skill and knowledge than me. And
what did you look for in the image though that allowed you to know that?
Oh yeah, so a dead giveaway when you're looking at any image and trying to figure out how did they light this. You want to look at a few things. Number one, you want to look at where are the shadows on their faces. So if you see shadows kind of like on the side, you know that the light is on the other side of where the shadow is, because if it was in front of them, that part would be lit. You also can look in their eyes. You can see what shape the fixture is. So if you look in their eyes at the little catch light, you can see if it's circular or square or it's just gigantic and you can't tell what shape it is. Those are two easy ways to kind of see how they lit it. And then you want to look at like where any part of their body that has any form of lighting or raise levels of light, you can kind of see where they're putting light onto the either the subject or the image. Damn. So yeah, that's the way to do it, man. Look at those eyes. Yeah.
You can't see mine though.
Yeah. No, you got a little catch light, man. We got you set up good.
Oh, damn, that's interesting. So are you still working on projects then?
Right now, I'm in a lull period. Once December hits, December to January is very, very dead for video production, just because most people's marketing budgets end at the end of the year, so they like to spend it before the end of the year. So October, November is usually like psychotic, and this October, November was crazy for me. So once kind of February rolls around, people start doing more things, and that's there are things that are done in December and January, just not as much. So yeah, it's kind of the lull period, which is nice because I can focus on pickleball and growing this channel and providing better content and hopefully winning a fucking medal in 4-0
tomorrow, baby.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Actually, another question that just came to mind: if you're recording yourself playing, and you're playing doubles, say you have a decent amount of room around the entire court,
yeah,
where do you think is the best spot to put a camera and like the best equipment to use? Is it like using a tripod? Where would you set a camera up if someone wanted to record gameplay footage?
Yeah, in a perfect world, I would love to have it like high up behind the center of the court. It just looks better. You can see everything better. But what I would do, if we're just going to pretend that this is a pickleball court, I would probably have the camera behind me on a corner of the court to where you can see the entirety of the court. You can see all four corners just so you can see where the ball goes out. And in my opinion, that's probably the most ideal place to do it. I would always have a tripod, and if you're using a camera and it's outside, don't make the mistake of not weighting it down, because one of my cameras fell in a tournament a couple weeks ago and broke the screen. It was like $700 to repair it. So don't make that mistake. The wind did not knock it over. There was like, those wind screens that they put on fences. That was not like tied down, and it like flew off and knocked my camera over. So yeah, had I had, a sandbag on it, it wouldn't have gone anywhere. But, tripod for sure. Phone is perfectly fine. In fact, it's probably the easiest thing to do if you have memory. But if it's hot, you're going to need to like have like it in the shade somehow. So, but if you have a really nice camera, throw your nice camera on a tripod and film it, But iPhone is perfectly suitable.
Yeah, that's another thing about them. They're pretty durable.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can drop my phone in the case from, a story high and it's fine. If I did that with my camera, gone. You and I played today. You probably had a decent idea of my game. My pursuit is to medal in 4-0. Like, what am I missing? What in your mind? What did you see was the most glaring weakness, or two things that I could easily fix right now that would help tremendously?
Returns is so interesting. Whenever anyone asks these questions, I feel like it's always the same thing. People are like, consistency.
Yeah, of course.
In a way, it is like
Yeah.
make balls.
Yeah.
And you see guys like the Johns brothers are really good at that. They make a lot of balls. When they're in trouble, they'll make balls. There's other reasons why they're losing. I don't think making balls is one of them.
Yeah.
So I think and Riley Newman, so good at defense, right? Just like making balls. And when you're at the net, like one example is you're at the kitchen and we're back at the baseline. Like, obviously put some pressure, but just prioritize making the ball more than anything.
Yeah.
And if they hit a good drop or they hit a good reset, concede, let them have it, come back to neutral, and then work it from there. Just because you excel at attacks, I think Justin excels at attacks too. Dinks were good. I think there were some like backhand cross-court dinks that may have gone into the net, but for the most part, like super good dinks.
Yeah.
Good spin, good pace, like good ball manipulation. I think there was like even your baseline drives, good. They're staying in.
Yeah.
There were like a couple times Jeff or I lobbed y'all, which that we could attribute missing those to Justin not being like fully capable based on his injury.
Yeah.
Just being aware of that, and if people start doing that, take a step off the baseline. That's okay. Like it's okay to take a step off the baseline.
That's one thing that I always have trouble. Like, I want to be like right up in there. It's like, it's okay to be back a step. Like, it's not a big deal.
You can see a lot of pros do that.
Yeah.
Let's see. The returns is tough. Like there's 5 points that happened in a row. I don't know what.
You're just a god at serving, dude.
It is very interesting. It's like,
Yeah.
how do you like clean up? I don't know. There's definitely someone who could explain it better, but maybe that means like taking steps off the baseline and just like giving yourself more room to allow the ball to bounce. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to like just keep the returns in.
Yeah.
It's such a basic piece of advice.
Yeah, just don't give it away. It
Yeah.
sounds like it's the
You don't
main-
even give yourself a chance to play the point out.
Yeah.
If you miss those. But yeah, if you guys didn't miss those, that would have been a pretty different game.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys were attacking the wings really well. You guys weren't really attacking our bodies. You were attacking the wings, which is
Yeah.
really good, making people reach. Some people aren't good here, and some people are good here, and vice versa. Some people
Yeah.
are really good on the wings, but they don't take balls to the
You are
body.
very good right here, dude.
Huh?
You were very good, like right in front of you.
Oh,
you were,
really?
dude? I hit 2 or 3 flicks hard. Like, I will say, like, I have pretty like powerful flicks. They're not like godly powerful, but not very many people are gonna get it back as easily. And you like reset it into the kitchen. Like, there was a couple times I was like, Jesus, Brian, you got hands, bro.
Yeah, that punch, I like the punch a lot.
Yeah.
Especially there.
Yeah.
I would say like those are mostly, the attacks are so good. Like there were just balls. Sometimes we just didn't get the ball on there. Like you were shadowing, you guys were tethering, you're like moving together. You weren't really leaving too many openings. You guys weren't fidgety. I mean, I wish I was that good when I was given you're a year in,
Yeah.
year and a half. Like
Yeah.
I was not. I was absolute trash. I still kind of am. So
No, you're good, bro. You're solid.
and like you guys had good blocks, like just staying tamed. Even the counters and attacks, if we attacked y'all, you guys were fine. You guys didn't
Yeah.
like spaz out.
Yeah.
That just happens sometimes when you're like a year and a half, 2 years in, 3 years. Sometimes I still spaz out.
Yeah. It happens, dude.
Yeah, so like returns and just consistency, like try to get the ball over. Like Justin has really good resets.
Yeah.
There were times where Jeff would like try to put a ball away on him, and Justin just went, huh. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I wish I had that reset where he like kind of slices it.
Yeah.
He like stabs at it.
He's got an interesting little backhand, man. It's pretty solid.
Yeah, and he would hit that, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. I guess like one thing you could figure out is who is better at like dropping and getting guys up to the net.
Yeah. Yeah.
And allow that person to maybe play like left. There's a whole like movement where they think like left side player is more aggressive player. I don't know if I agree with that. I think the left side player just needs to be someone that's more consistent, that's going to make balls and not put you guys into trouble.
Yeah.
Because I've played with people like that where the left side player, they tell me to play right, and I'm like, okay, if you're going to play left, get us in a rhythm.
Yeah.
And if you don't get us in a rhythm, we're not going to have a good. It's not going to have a good outcome.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, let me be on the left. I know I'm going to make the drops, and I'll make drives, and I'll allow you to poach.
Yeah, I don't think y'all hit a single drop into the net today. You hit a couple drives, but I don't think y'all hit a single drop into the net.
Yeah, just prioritize.
Which is, yeah. I mean, that's impressive.
Find a rhythm, right?
Yeah.
Like you dude, you hit two. You're 100% success rate on the two-handed backhand drive.
Dude, I've been working on that. You know, I've gotten to the point where it's like, it doesn't have to look pretty. It just has to go over and put a little bit of pressure so that y'all can't attack it. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if I just want an easier fifth. I'm not trying to win.
Yeah.
I'm never going to win on a two-hand backhand. I mean, every now and then I'll get one bumped in the net. But, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter how things look. Like, what's to say what is a perfect form if you're getting the same result?
Exactly, yeah.
So, yeah, it is very interesting.
I'm already ugly, bro. My pickleball swing might as well be as well.
Dude, you got the craziest body type.
Yeah,
like, you should have been a fighter.
Yeah, yeah, honestly.
You could have been like a 145er.
Yeah.
And you're like, are you like 6 foot?
Yeah, I'm 6'1" and a half.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm like 185 right now.
I was the smallest guy on the court.
Yeah.
Short kings.
Short kings, dude.
Baby.
You'd beat all our asses, though. Yeah, it's almost dinner
You're playing
time.
tomorrow at 11.
Tomorrow at 11.
Is it a pool?
Yeah, I think so. The guy just texted me. Let me see real quick what he said. Send emails. No, he hasn't said. Top 6 in your bracket make playoffs.
Top 6.
Yeah, so
How many teams are there?
8. I think there's 8 teams. So yeah, I guess it's I guess you just do pool play, and then you go top 2 bye, next 4 play, and then
Whoa.
yeah.
Is this
you never had
live
one like
ball?
That? Yeah.
Nice.
Is it
dude.
Moneyball? Is it for money?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyways, he was talking about like starting a tournament, and yeah, it was what we were talking about. It was like, damn, very adamant on prioritizing efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
He does not want a shitty experience for people. He's
Yeah.
like, I would much rather just have a short day, less teams,
Yeah.
charge people like $30.
Yeah.
You get good duper rated games.
Dude, this tournament was like legitimately, I kid you not, it was $30.
Dude,
It was so
that's
cheap.
unheard of.
Yeah, it was so cheap.
And they don't use any software.
Yeah.
He just runs it by himself.
Dang.
And he like loves that thing. And yeah, I've heard pretty much like nothing but good things,
Yeah, that's awesome.
which is cool. Damn, 8 teams. Dude, this is your last tournament of the year?
No, I have one more next weekend.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Who are you gonna play with in that?
Jack.
Oh,
The baller.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple sandbaggers in the 4-0, so
Oh,
I was like,
so
listen,
you had
bro.
so you had to find someone who
Yeah.
could sandbag.
Well,
too.
no one could play but him, so I couldn't find anybody. The only people that were available were like anybody who's like 4'4", 4'6".
Uh-huh.
And I think he's just like 4'5". His Duper's 4'5". But I mean, Duper's also stupid as shit. It's just like so inaccurate. And in our area, it's very bad. Like, you know, there's like 60-year-old men who I would pickle who have the same rating as me. Not that, you know, that's bad or anything, but it's just like, I don't think Dupers, you should associate your pickleball ability to your Duper, you know. Let other people tell you what your rating is.
That is true. I remember even in jiu-jitsu, it's kind of like that. Like, don't ever like pay attention to someone's belt,
Yeah.
right? Or
That's a good
years of
point.
experience. It's like
Yeah.
someone who's been training 2 years could be just as good as someone training 10, which is also terrifying.
Yeah. Very terrifying.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Dude, I mean, I could talk to you for hours about MMA.
Oh, yeah. Who was your favorite fighter?
of all time, I don't know. Probably still Israel Adesanya.
Oh,
even though he
really?
says a bunch of dumb shit.
Yeah, wearing that pearl necklace, bro.
Yeah, he's an interesting cat, but
He is.
Jesus Christ, dude, can he fight?
Dude, you guys got the same body type.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is true. Maybe that's, I don't know. Just that skinny dude who's whooping everybody's ass. That might be the reason why. But he's fun, dude. How about you?
I was a fan of like T.J. Dillashaw before he got popped for drugs.
Yeah, Mr. Cheater.
Yeah. Ever since he did that, I was like, I can't with this
Fuck
guy.
that guy.
Yeah, GSP. I mean, how could you not like that
Oh
guy?
yeah, it's impossible not to like him. Yeah.
Who did I like outside of that? I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of McGregor, but I liked McGregor, right?
Yeah.
He's like dope. Like Louisiana, Dustin Poirier.
Yeah.
His stand up.
DP baby.
So clean.
I shot a commercial with him. It was fun.
What?
Yeah, it was really fun.
Was
At
he
the
cool in
end, I was
person?
trying to play. I was playing it so fucking cool, dude. And I was like, he's just another person. He's another person, Lewis. Just chill out. And what's funny is one of his training partners is one of my little brother's really close friends from when they played soccer together growing up. So I was just, talking to AJ Fletcher is the kid's name. And at the end, I was like, all right, I'm just going to fucking do it. I was like, Dustin, I'm a huge fan of you, bro. I wanted to wait until the end and not be like a fangirl about it, but big fan. Love watching your fights. This was right after he lost to Oliveira in the title fight. And I was like, dude, it was a great fight. You should be proud of yourself. He's a badass fighter, dude. I know it probably sucks bad to lose a big fight like that.
Yeah.
But
It's like when you lose a game in a match in a pickleball tournament, and you're walking back. You obviously don't have the basket in your hand.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, "Oh, how's your day going?" And you're like, "I just lost."
fucking terrible. I just got my ass.
Yeah, dude. And you just want to keep walking, and
Yeah.
you're like, "How'd it go?" And you're like, "Dude, shut the fuck
Yeah.
up. I just want to go
Yeah.
cry.
Yeah.
Like, let me go."
It didn't go good. Leave me alone.
Yeah. If I'm looking down at the floor, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Who else was Khabib? I loved Khabib's style because that was kind of my style. It's like, we're not going to
you're a
strike.
ground and pounder. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu, grappling.
Yeah.
Just
So you're a mauler. That's terrifying.
liked that. There was one fight where I got on top in half guard,
Uh-huh.
and I took him down right by the cage, so he can't back up.
Yeah.
So he's pressed up against the cage, and I'm just raining elbows. I remember like he eventually turned, like 3 landed, and he just crumbled up and like turned.
Yeah.
And then like the fight got called, and then after the fight, we go to the back and we're getting all cleaned up, and I go see him. And I'm still like riding this crazy high.
Yeah.
So I don't really remember this too much, but we run into each other. He's like, dude, great fight. I was like, yeah, definitely a great fight. And then my coach was like, dude, did you see his fucking head? Dude, he had like a softball on the on top of his head.
Better to have a softball than a giant gash, though. Man. Do you
Yeah.
see that Irene Aldana cut? That was unbelievable. Yeah.
Those look brutal. Was it like a kick or an elbow?
Probably an elbow, but I didn't watch the fight. I just saw the photo of it after. I mean, I swear that she could have like lost an eye. Like it was insane. She could have died.
Do you see Joanna's forehead after that?
Oh yeah.
One fight.
Oh my god. Yeah. Was that
She looked like an alien?
Was that against Weili Zhang or was that? Who was that? That was an incredible fight. That was one of the fights of the year.
She was super entertaining. I liked
Yeah.
her a lot, actually.
Yeah.
She was super entertaining.
Yeah, she's a good fighter. She's wild too.
John Jones, dude.
Yeah.
Just the best.
Hey, John Jones, but
I
yeah,
know.
he's the best.
He's like a
the
shitty
best.
person.
Yeah.
But when he came back and he went up to heavyweight, everyone's like, dude, Stipe is probably going to like knock. Stipe's going to put him on sleep.
He's an old man.
I know. And he did
Yeah.
a spinning back kick on him.
Oh yeah, that was bad.
And I was like, that's so disrespectful.
It's hard to watch, man. Yeah, it's like you beating up this old man. Not that Stipe is not a total badass and could probably beat the shit out of most top 5, top 10 heavyweights.
Oh, yeah.
But John Jones is just a different animal.
Yeah.
I think Aspinall could beat him though.
You think so?
Oh yeah, Tom Aspinall is a freak, dude.
We're betting on this.
Yeah, I
We're
think
betting.
Aspinall would.
Is he good?
He's so good. Yeah, you got to watch some of his fights.
Okay.
He's very good on the ground, and he's even better on the feet. So, and he hits so hard.
Oh, I can't wait
Yeah.
for John to just.
But he's just like he moves like a middleweight, which is what is like the real, thing that I think is like going to give John trouble because John has never fought anybody who could move better than him.
Because what
Who's
he
that
did,
big?
like Dominic Reyes did beat him in that fight. I thought he beat him.
Dominic Reyes definitely won, and
Yeah.
Thiago Santos probably beat him as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw that fight.
Yeah, it was kind of a boring fight, but I think Santos won.
Did you ever watch Robbie Lawler's fights?
Yeah, I've watched a few Robbie Waller fights. He's wild, dude. Him and Rory McDonald's, that's insane. Yeah,
That's iconic fight.
yeah. That was pretty much the golden age of UFC.
That was great.
Yeah, that was a
Those were
really
good.
good time. It's kind of like soccer's getting. It's like getting very analytical, and like people are playing, fighting more safely, and which is smart and good for all of the athletes. It should be fought that way, and less like, going out on your shield. Like people's livelihoods are literally, and their well-beings are literally at stake when they fight. Like people don't understand that. Like you could literally die in that case.
Yeah. Dude.
Like no joke. It's
It's
very
definitely taking years off their life for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's very admirable to see people. It's got to be the hardest thing in the world to do is go in there and fight at a high level and get beat up for
Like
20 minutes.
Yeah, like most sports have maybe one or two phases leading up to the event, right? But like in fighting, you have to first go through a training camp,
Which is hard
it's
as
like
hell.
a 10-week training camp.
Yeah.
And that's very focused. This isn't like off season. You're like
Yeah.
pretty much on season all throughout the entire year. So you have the training camp. Then you have to cut weight, which that
Sucks.
is I can't explain to you how miserable and awful cutting weight is.
You're like on the verge of death.
You really are. You're like
Yeah.
2 weeks of like intense cutting, but really like it starts 3 days out from the official weigh-ins. Like
Yeah.
Wednesday, and then there's like Thursday, and by Thursday you've stopped consuming anything completely, and then Friday you go like full 24 hours without drinking anything. Nothing touches your lips.
How hard is that? I can't imagine.
Dude,
I literally cannot imagine.
I broke one time and I started like eating frozen fruit. I put ice cubes in my mouth to just give me some water and like
Yeah.
and then I just broke. I like started eating the like frozen mangoes,
Yeah.
frozen strawberries, and then I missed weight.
Do you think that happens a lot? Like that's why majority of people miss weight is they get to that point they're like, I just can't do this
They
anymore.
mentally crumble. But I don't blame them because you're talking
dude.
about guys who are like your height
Yeah.
will make 135 pounds.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they do like, they probably lose about like 15 of those pounds within those 3 days.
Yeah.
And then like you have to do the rehydration and all that. So like you have the lead up to the fight and the training, then you have the weight cut, and you have the actual fight itself.
How compromised are you on fight day from all of that weight cutting?
You usually feel pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they came out with, once nutritionists started getting into the sport, they started dialing in how those work. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, right after you get off the scale, you have a 32 ounce of Gatorade with you. This is timed. You're supposed to finish that in 15 minutes.
Dang.
So all you want to do is just chug that.
Yeah.
But you have to finish it in 15 minutes. So then you're like, how do I do that in 15 minutes? You'd probably take a pretty big swig, and then after that, it's like very little. Then you start eating a very like regimented meal set. It's like sweet potato, chicken. You got some other carbs, like some vegetables. But you're also told you have 2-gallon jugs of water, and you're supposed to finish those. It's so fucking hard because everything's already shrunk.
Yeah.
Everything's shrunk. After you had the Gatorade, you're like, I don't want any more fluids.
Yeah.
Like you have to. And then if you start rushing any point in that, you either puke or you get diarrhea.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm so exhausted. I just went through a weight cut of sitting through the sauna or the hot tub for hours.
Yeah.
And like you're sitting there miserable. You have maybe one person with you, and they take a credit card and they're swiping the sweat off you so your like body doesn't reabsorb it. And if that doesn't work, you have to
I did
lay
not know
down.
that.
Yeah. If that doesn't work, you have to lay down in towels.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't
That's why
work,
they do it. Okay. I thought
Yeah.
they were just doing that because the towels were hot. That makes sense.
Yeah, they want to cover your body and just insulate all the heat.
God, that's
and if that
crazy.
doesn't work, you have to put sweet sweat on. Sweet sweat, there's another more like a natural product. I forgot what it's called, but sweet sweat is just like this. It's imagine putting Crisco on your body. That's what it feels like. But it's supposed to like insulate the heat.
Yeah.
So you're just putting globs of this stuff on, and you can't get rid of the feeling that there's heat just built up in you.
Yeah.
And it's all for the purpose that you keep sweating.
Right.
So then, like, you just don't even want to look at the scale. Your coach's like, all right, let's go to the scale. And all you see is 0.2 has been taken off. And you're like, we have 5 more pounds to
we
go.
got 5 pounds to go.
But then you
Jeez.
go to bed and like, oh yeah, you're even trying to go to bed.
Yeah, it's hard to sleep.
Try to go to bed after not eating for 2 days.
Oh my God.
It's fucking terrible. And
Your heart's
nothing
just
touched you.
pounding, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you like you can't go to sleep because all you can think about is like food, and you're also at this point you're trying to focus on the fight.
Yeah.
So you do that, and then you go through the weight cut, and you go through like the rehydration process after you weigh in, the refueling. But by the next day, like once you've slept pretty well, you'll wake up, you feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you are for sure compromised. But I think like mentally, you feel like you're like, okay, well, it's not going to help if I dwell on this. So I'm just going to have to suck it up.
Yeah.
And also just get into the mindset of like, if 3 people are in that cage, me, my opponent, and the ref, and only fucking one of us is leaving with our hand raised.
Yeah.
And like, you already have that pressure of like, what fight is this? Is this your first fight?
Mm-hmm.
Or is this your 15th fight? Or is this a championship bout? Like, what does this fight count for?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, in many ways, every single fight counts because your record is your portfolio.
Yeah.
But you just don't want to get fucking hurt.
Yeah.
And like kind of anything can happen.
Right.
It's so weird in the fight because this actually reminds me of the fight. Like you're in a cage and all the lights are shining down, and you can almost feel the heat from the lights.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you
those
can't
lights are
see
bright.
you can't see anything around you.
Yeah.
So you just hear a bunch of screaming, and it's like so hard to get like dialed in. You're like, holy shit! Like I'm trying to focus, but I hear so much yelling.
Dang.
And you just see this guy across from you, and you just see like everything is moving so fast and slow at the same time.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I've never fought this guy before. Everyone I trained with, I've seen what they do.
Right.
Like you know what to expect to some
Yeah.
degree. But if you're fighting someone who you've never fought before, you're like, what is this person about to do?
Yeah.
This person's about to kick me in the head.
Yeah, I heard the hardest part is just figuring out the distance at the first distance
terrifying.
management for like the first minute. You're like, holy shit!
Yeah.
Like this dude could just knock me out with one punch. I got to figure out my range.
Yeah, I remember that happened against a very explosive guy. This guy I fought. We couldn't find anyone. This happens pretty often where you don't find someone in your weight class because it's like a regional or local tournament event. So I was a 145er, and then I could walk very easily at like 155. So then they're like, okay, we found a guy for you. And they're like, it's going to be a 155 though. And we're like, we take any fight.
Yeah.
That was our mentality. It was
Yeah.
like, we take any fight. We never say no.
Yeah.
And so we took it, and they were like 155. So I was at 160 walking around. So like I didn't have to cut anything really.
Yeah.
And I get to the fight. Like I'm small pretty much.
Yeah.
Like I might be lean, but there's no like, I don't have considerable size. I'm like 5'8". This guy, like just fucking jacked. Just so jacked. His quads like the size of like my torso, and he just looks massively explosive. And it's so funny because my coach said when I walked into the cage, like I'm good, and then he came in after me. The guy walked into the cage. Him and my assistant coach both looked at each other, and they were like, "What the fuck?"
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, and
yeah.
then,
People
like,
do not understand. Like 10 pounds is a massive difference.
Yeah.
Like gigantic.
It could either be height or like strength or just pure body weight.
Yeah.
And like in the first 30 seconds, the guy lunged at me and knocked me down, and I just blacked out. I don't remember what happened, but like
Damn.
I ended up winning that fight.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I came back from
Baller.
it.
You're a warrior,
You can
dude.
find the video online.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. I get knocked back, and to me, it looks like I'm fine. But I remember in the moment, I was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Damn.
And I like had to kind of run away and like regroup and get my shit together. But yeah, the guy's name was, I think, like Javon Gordon. Just fucking tank.
Damn.
Like anytime I got a hold of him, he just shucked me off like I was nothing.
Damn.
And I was like, what the fuck do I do now?
Yeah.
And I was like, I just have to try again. And he I remember he put a little too much forward momentum into a punch, and I just like dropped my level and shot in for a double. I ended up subbing him, but like just terrifying guy. Like he's so explosive. You thought Jeff was explosive? Imagine that.
Yeah.
Like a guy. Like,
oh no, yeah.
closing the distance.
There's a difference between pickleball explosive and MMA explosive.
This, and it goes to that thing that you were saying about measuring distance. You're like, okay, like if I'm here, like I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
But then he
Wrong.
he
Yeah.
measures it.
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah, it's insane. That's like one thing I love about Adesanya is like how he controls distance so well, and just like there's only probably been like 2 fights in his career where he was not the person controlling the entire fight.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think. Like he is the best in the world, and there's only 2 people who could ever take him out of his game plan, which is wild to think.
Proton and who else?
Duplessis. Well, I guess technically Strickland as well. You could call that 3 now.
Oh, Strickland took him out?
Well, Strickland, he did not finish him, but in the first round, he hit him with like a really good shot. Almost finished him in the first round. And then just for the rest of the day, for the rest of the fight, all 5 rounds, he was just all up in his face. I mean,
wow.
He just couldn't figure him out, which happens sometimes.
Yeah. Damn. Anyways, wow, we went down the memory lane.
Went deep, bro. If you gotta cry, it's okay, man. If you gotta cry, it's okay.
Just always crying. I'm forever crying.
Yeah.
I'm hungry as shit. You want to get some food?
Yeah, let's get some food.
Get some food. Shout out to my sponsors, Viore and Peak.
Bam.
Do you want to give a
Look at
shout out
this.
to anyone, bro?
Man, I just want to shout out anybody who's watching this, anybody who's watched any of my videos. Really appreciate it. I do this a lot for me, but I also do it a lot for y'all. And I really appreciate the support.
Dude.
Appreciate you for letting me come on here, man. I feel like I'm like the most underwhelming guest you've ever had.
No way, dude. This wasn't planned at all. Like,
Yeah.
You told me you were coming like this week.
Yeah.
Super grateful. Like, thank you so much
Likewise,
for
man.
making the time. And like, your wife is here too. Like, she's making the time to just sit on this couch and listen to her bullshit for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, thank you for giving me the opportunity to like share your story.
Likewise,
and
man.
Talking about like so many cool things, like the cinematography tips, some of the YouTube stuff, the community in the sport's super grateful and like lucky to have someone like you. It's a similar
Appreciate
thing that
that.
I said to Chris, because you guys have like a great background.
Mm-hmm.
But you're also carving out your own thing.
Yeah.
You're not like, it's not cookie cutter. It's not like something that already exists.
Mm-hmm.
It's super cool. I didn't know the differences between like the different reviewer channels and especially your channel. But just, I'm telling you, that Pursuit of 4.0 gold video, seriously, I can't hype that thing up enough.
I appreciate it, man. That really means a lot. It's fun. Those are the most fun to make. Like, reviews are cool, but like, I don't know. It is a little bit vulnerable to put out there that, I keep losing and whatnot, but also, everybody can see that in themselves in some way, shape, or form. Like there's some goal they're striving for. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to put as much effort into those videos as possible because I want them to be more meaningful, than all the other reviews I make.
Yeah. Although it might feel like a video that is about you, it actually is more about, it's like instead of you, it's like we. Like there are people, like you said, they could easily put themselves in your shoes. Yeah, that video was essentially what you would find on my YouTube Explorer page, like those cinematography videos, like the vlog videos. Like when I saw that, I was like, "What the fuck?" Yeah, sick.
That's awesome.
So cool.
Yeah, I appreciate your time, dude. Really
Yeah.
do. For real, this has been very fun.
All
You're a
right.
great interviewer.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
I would hope so. After like 37 of these,
Oh, you got it, bro. You
we
killed
out.
it.
We out.
Peace out.
Peace out.
That was good, man.
Dude.
Hope I lived up to the expectations.